Everyone. Today is Thursday, March 14th, 2019, and this is the day before the Ides of March, which means what? The day before the Ides of March.
St. Patrick's Day.
Nope. Okay, so tomorrow, March 15th, is the anniversary of the death of Julius Caesar. Big day in history. But anyway, we're here today, and this is live on YouTube for the whole world. We've got a couple special guests. So my name is Edward Bevilacqua, and I'm here at the WellCare Work Training Program that we do. And normally we have graduations on Friday, which, Lauren, are we having graduation tomorrow? Okay, so some people in here will be graduating tomorrow. But today is a big day because this is the first time we have one of our important employers coming in to talk about the opportunity. And earlier I read a letter from one of the former employees, Glenn Anderson, who was in our school at Casa Grande, talking to other people about why this is such a great opportunity. And our reason for wanting to have Todd and Chin here is to make sure that we can provide them people who are motivated, and they can see you talk about what the opportunity is and make sure that it's a good fit for both parties, for everybody, because their business depends upon good employees. Bad employees drive customers away, and they're going to tell you how long they've been in the business and how seriously they take it. So what we want to do is have the best supply of people for them, because they put in a lot of effort into helping our people. 2 Sundays ago, I was fortunate enough to have breakfast with Todd and Chin with my son Edward, who's in the Army. And it's really a very fascinating story of starting with nothing, and then, you know, having determination, ambition, not giving up, following a dream. I think you said it took 8 months before they gave you the opportunity, Chin, for the franchise? 2 years. 2 years of continuing to go back like every week saying, how's my application? And then working 20 hours a day. And then Todd, who happened to come in to the store as a regular basis, offering to hey, can I help? And, you know, it's just a great story. It's a great work story. It's a great personal story. It's a story about what hard work can do, and I think it's a great story for the next chapter in everyone's hero's journey in here moving forward. And we're lucky to have employers who are willing to go not the extra step, or just way beyond and above the call of duty to help people who are willing and committed to helping themselves move forward. So, Todd and Chin, can you come up here, please? Tell your story.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Chin,
Thank
you
so
guys
much.
did such a good job. I'm going to turn it over, and then we'll have questions. Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions after.
Or you can ask questions now if you'd like. No. So my name's Todd. This is my wife, Chin.
Hello. Good to be here.
We're grateful to be here and excited to talk to you. Our story is a lot about focus, hard work, dedication, and perseverance. So, you know, we are all individuals. We all have our own dreams and goals, and it's how you focus on what you want to do and how much effort you put into that determines the result, right? So I came from a very small town in Minnesota, which is very cold in the wintertime, unlike here. And I grew up on a farm, and we picked rocks out of the field, and we milked cows, and we chased cows when they broke out of the fences, and it was just a nonstop effort to survive on the farm in Minnesota. And then from there, I went into the military and I jumped out of airplanes for 4 years with the 82nd Airborne Division. And a lot of people think, wow, how cool is it to jump out of an airplane? Well, it's falling 30 feet a second and hitting the ground like a ton of bricks, and then you're marching forever with a lot of heavy stuff. But what that taught me was there's nothing I can't do after that. It's extremely mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, but there's a lot of reward that goes along with that, right? Because you're serving, you're protecting, you're helping people, and you meet a lot of people along the way that that you can benefit from, and also they benefit from your presence. So that's a little bit about me, and my wife has a great story
About how I got here.
Mm-hmm.
It's I was born in the era of Korean War, right? So, and we were like few years when I was 5 years old. That we have like the whole country was disaster. Everything is just destroyed, and there's no food, no toys, no books. And if you see some of my old pictures, like it look like how do I say?
Very much in need.
Yes. You may see some of the Syrian kids, and all the kids are like really poor and hungry, and that was the situation. And so we have nothing to do. So at night we just go out, play with the kids, and then on the weekends we're living close to American base, military, and we follow them because they look so different, right? I mean, these American people, we didn't know. I didn't know where they come from, but they just look different, and the different color eye, tall, and we just follow them around, and they're so generous. They'll bring some food to us, and I was telling him about that chocolate that I never had before, and then they were handed out, and I was just like, we were so excited. And if they don't have anything, they would take us to a bakery and buy us some bread. I mean, it's like melt in your mouth, like wow. And so the night I came home and told my mom, I said, Mom, wherever they come from, I want to go there. And she just kind of smiled. It's like, that's really big dream, but whatever you want to, you can accomplish if you try. So, and ever since then, every time I had an opportunity to learn English, like from TV, somebody's house, I learned. So I was telling my husband that 3 TV programs they had. I was like, I Love It, Lucy, Bonanza, and Mission Impossible. Yeah. They don't even play anymore. And I started learning English. And so finally, when I was 18, my opportunity finally came. And then my uncle brought our family here. And I was so excited. And then my first job, I wanted to work so bad. And I was 18 at the time, and I was told that if I go down to Union, Culinary Union, they will give me a job. So I was taking a bus. It took us 2-3 hours, and I was waiting for like a couple of months, and there are like about 10, maybe 20, 30 more times than this class. So it's huge. People all waiting. I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna wait this long? And then says, I'm gonna just kind of change my strategy. And so I got on the bus first thing, and I was there first. And then, and then I wait till all day long, and then I was the last one to leave. And then after a couple of months, weeks later, this lady called me in, and I said, me? And look around and say, come over. So she says, I have an opening for you. It's MGM. It was MGM before. It was before burn down. And it's not really good. It's a graveyard shift, and I didn't know what graveyard shift was. I pay $2.25 an hour, and I was so excited. I take it. So that was my first day, and I started working there, and I was so excited. I came home, and I wrote 30-some letters to all my friends in Korea that I got a job, and I couldn't believe it because I don't have any experience. And then this is one thing I believe, that if you really try hard, God opens a door for you. I mean, because I have no idea. My English was, like broken English and no job experience, and fill up the application. And I was really, really nervous, like my first interview of my whole life, right? And I was waiting, and then this door opens up, and this big gentleman came out, and he just kind of looked at my application and flipped over, and I have blank in the back. And
No experience.
yes, no experience.
Wow.
And he kind of smiled, and then he says, "You're Korean." I was in Korea service. I go, wow, what is the opportunity of meeting somebody like that, right? This, I like you guys. You guys work hard and then honest. So I'm gonna give you a try. And the day began, and I didn't think it was hard because I was just excited. I'm excited to go to work every day, and 11 o'clock. So it took me. I was living in Boulder here somewhere to MGM. I had to go down to downtown. Took 3 different bus, but I didn't care. So 3 hours, and got to work and work all night, and then I went to high school next day and all day till 3 or 4, and then sleep a few hours, go to work. And I tell my niece and nephew, we don't have kids, but we have a lot of nieces and nephews. They always ask for advices because we have gone through a lot of experience and different business and dealt with it. Yeah, we can probably write a lot of storybooks about it. But so ever since then, step by step, decide to find a little bit better job. So our business, 7-Eleven, as you can see, and then when the people come and start working, they don't know what to expect. So I explain to them, it's like, this is a job, it's a step. It's a step up. You need to go step by step to get to where you want to be. You're not gonna get rich, but I can teach you a lot of things about the work ethic. And if you're interested, you can stay in 7-Eleven, and then you can be a manager, and then you can go work for the corporate ladder, work for 7-Eleven company, or they give you opportunity if you're a good manager, give you a loan, and you can apply. You can work for a company for a few years and then apply for store and
franchise you.
And then they give you loan, and then they give you a lot about how do you say? You can pay like a monthly payment and things like that. So if you show that you're interested, you're honest, you're a hard worker, and they will open the door for you. But if not, then it's just so folks with some problems in the past, they come, and that's what I tell them. I said, you work hard, and then Todd and I, we want to help you because we all make mistakes in our lives, and then I believe in second opportunity, and
we've made a lot of mistakes in our life too.
that's true. Yeah, we all do. And
So
then,
people have given us a lot of second opportunities.
that's true too. And so if you stay around and then do your good job, and then when you decide to leave, give us enough time, and then we can give you a recommendation letter, which we did quite a few people. And I think the letter is very, very important, like to go to the next level. And so far we have a lot of success stories. Some of them didn't make it through, but chances are, if you try, I think you can make it through. So
Thank you. So, I hope that everyone gets what we're talking about is hard work, dedication, perseverance. We said that in the beginning, but the opportunities are there for everyone, regardless of where you're from or your history or some mistakes or whatever. These are opportunities to build, to develop yourselves and learn new skills. We talk to people about our business, and people say, well, you have the 7-Eleven that's 3,000 square feet, but our 3,000 square foot box is no different than 75,000 square foot Walmart or Target. We do the same things. We buy things, we order, we do inventory management, we do lots of stuff. You know, retail is never going away, and we are on the front lines. We are all about people and satisfying the customer. So as the director said, we're looking for people who can help satisfy the customer's needs, keep stores clean, make it inviting, and then we sell things, and we we satisfy the customers. They give us some money, we can keep the lights on, and we all learn new things. So that's what we do. Question?
Todd,
Yes, sir.
when I brought one of our guys in, I think one of the great things that you said was this is like the Army. Can you expand upon that again?
Yeah, the director brought someone in, and I said, you know, my experience in the military taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of things about the world. We're very similar all over the planet. We all have basic needs. But the conversation that I had with the gentleman who came in, and I said, you have the opportunity to be all you can be, because you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. It's really that simple. A lot of folks, you know, say, well, I can't do that because, you know, I need more sleep. I have to work that, you know, I can't work that shift because I have to. Well, my wife came here and was working, you know, overnight shift at a hotel as a bus girl, and then
I loved it.
and then going to school the next day. When I got out of the military, I was working at Levi Strauss & Company, throwing boxes into trucks, working at one of the stores, and taking classes at night. So I had like 3 or 4 hours of sleep a day. You just put your mind to it, and you can do it. There's a ton of things that people put in front of them that will, they try to persuade themselves or convince themselves that they can't do some things. And I was sharing with the director a favorite quote that I had many years ago that I wrote out on a piece of paper, and I posted it with a little pin, and it said, argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours, right? So if you just keep telling, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and this is the reason why, and you know, it's too hard, it's too far, well, you're not gonna be able to do those things because you've already told yourself, I can't do it. But if you say, I'm gonna give it a try, I'm gonna work on this, I'm gonna learn these new skills, I'm gonna try to do this because I think I can, and if you have people who are encouraging you, like this group of folks, you can do it.
Can you talk a little bit about how the process would be from the time you interview them, if you have them start, and where they need a TAM card and a...
Oh, sure. Some of the basic requirements to start is you need a health card from a food handler's card from the health department.
How much is that?
You know,
How many?
$20.
Okay.
$20. I wasn't quite sure. Thank you. And then you also need a card called the TAM card, Techniques of Alcohol Management, and I think I need a price check on that too. I think
25,
it's 25 or something like that. So those are the two cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we will advance the money for you to get those cards.
The director just answered your question.
Oh, great. No, that's great. Those are the actual requirements that you need. The big requirement is you have to be able to understand our needs. Our needs are people showing up on time, doing their job, making sure that the customers are satisfied, and be willing to learn. Those are it. That's the big stuff right there. If you can do those things, we'll work with you and we'll train you and we'll develop you into whatever you want to do. If you want to, question, yes.
Oh, I had a question. Where is the stores at?
Oh, we have 3 stores. We have one store on the west side of town, which is at Fort Apache and Twain. We have a store at Eastern and Serene, which is relatively close, and a store at Horizon and Pacific, which is
It's closest to here, I think.
yes, exactly.
Do they all have gas stations?
They all have gas.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I talked about my grandma.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just this is really how we were brought up. But got all of our 4 kids in line straight because we used to be such a wild kids and fought all the time and caused a lot of problem. But we had an amazing grandmother that saved us over the years, and she used to have this bamboo whip on her side, and there's a 3 basic principles we have to follow. And I, up to this day, it's like my life philosophy of my lifetime. And so when I was talking to one of these lady that came here, and she was trying to like do away with the things that she doesn't like, and and so I took her to the bedroom and I talk about this also. So 3 things is basic. Stay honest, regardless what circumstance you're gonna enter, because then a lot of times people start lying, calling in sick. Like example, boy, they come up with all kinds of stories. Wow, I mean, really? Some of them that there's some relative died 3 times. I don't know what happened. And I have a good memory. I remember every one of them. Number 2, if you were to decide to change your mind, okay, this is not for me, I want to leave, go pursue some other things. Just be straight with her. So after after you cross the bridge, don't burn the bridge because you might need to go back. But a lot of times they don't think about it. So, oh, somebody offered me 25 cents more than Todd and Chin store. So heck with that, screw you, and then they leave. So a lot of times it might not work out. And then if they get into a situation like left in Chin, I give you a notice, and then then I give her, okay, you're welcome to try. But if you lie to me or calling, not showing no call, I don't think I would take you back. So right, that's two things. And then always remember the people who is kind and nice to you to help you out through the life. And then I can think of hundreds of people who helped me. And mentally, it just seems like, like I said, always God opens the door for you if you really stay those 3 basic things. That's my belief is. So I think, so I always believe in it, and then I like for you to just share some of the with us. And we still talk about it. She passed away 20-some years ago, and every time we family get together, her subject comes up, and we're very thankful.
What are the questions does this group have?
How does once you hire somebody and they have their permits,
Yes.
what should they expect in terms of how they would start? Like you say, show up tomorrow for training.
Well, it's an orientation. You get familiar with the store, with the layout, with the products. We do some basic training with POS registers so you can understand the scanning functions. We do temperature checks. We do cleanliness checks. We stock merchandise. We check in merchandise electronically. But basically, the first couple of days are only getting to know the store and the customers. There's a lot of different techniques for that. I mean, some people, we just have them stand by the front door for an hour just to greet people when they come in, and they get to know the customers that way. Some people are very much detailed, and they want to understand where every product is in the store. So it's just kind of fun, actually, because each person will find something that they really enjoy doing, and then we focus on that. But basically, the fundamentals are the 3 pillars of success that we call it is customer service, cleanliness, and then being in stock, having that product available for the customer to buy. So I think everyone in this room has gone to some kind of a convenience store, grocery store, or someplace looking for something, right? So your expectation is when you go into that business or that store that you'll find what you're looking for. If you don't find what you're looking for, how do you feel?
Not good.
Disappointed?
Or somewhere else.
Frustrated?
Yes.
So the next step is do you just leave and go someplace else, or do you have a conversation with the person or the staff at the store? Well, honestly, it's like 50-50. Some people are like, I'm out, I'm going to go to the next door, I'm going to go down the street. Some people have a conversation with a person at the store saying, do you have this item? And our job is to explain that we either have it or why we don't have it, or help them find an alternative for that, or do the research maybe on your phone or make a call to find out where that product is so that the customer can go find the product at another business. Because if we do that, they already had a good experience at our store and they'll come back, even though they didn't find what they were looking for. Yes?
Yeah, you mentioned about being straight with you.
Yeah.
So how is like your policy or your principle for us open doors to hey, talk to you if something comes up, you have a problem or something? How are you guys?
That's a really great question.
We want to know what you want to. We want to know what you think, and we want to know what the issue might be, or maybe you have a question, and we're very, very accessible.
You're in the stores all the time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Our alarm goes off at like 3:30 in the morning, and
we see try to see three all the shift people
all three
each
shifts.
day,
Yeah.
and then stay communicated.
Yes.
For training, what type of schedule should we expect if we come in to 7-Eleven?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the questions that I typically ask folks when they come in is, what shifts are you available? And honestly, people say a lot of different things, but the overwhelming majority of the folks say I'm available any shift, anytime, any day. And it's like, okay, tell me really what you're looking for. Tell me when you function the best, because some people are morning people, like her, wakes up and has 20 ideas like being like that. And then some people are afternoon people, and some people are night people. I mean, they just like to be up all night long. So, but to answer your question, most of the training takes place during the daytime hours, just because there's more things happening. There's more people, more customers, more deliveries, and then we transition to when you really function the best.
Yeah.
And does that answer your question?
It does.
Perfect. Perfect. Any other thoughts, questions? Yes, sir.
Where are you mostly hiring, part-time or full-time?
That's a really, really good question. I'm going to answer it in two parts. We like to hire only full-time because we understand, because we haven't always done this. We worked for a lot of different places, and we needed full-time work, so we like to hire full-time. The exception would be if people only want to work part-time, and there's a lot of different reasons for that, because maybe they have other responsibilities, they have school, they have just lots of different reasons. So I guess the answer is we prefer to hire full-time, but we're flexible.
What about safety?
Oh, tell me, what's your question?
If your store provides for safety issues that you're gonna get robbed or?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're a 24-hour business, and we deal with cash and merchandise, right? So the reality is that the world is a little different, and people come in and they may want to take something, or I don't know. But for us, our stores are in great neighborhoods. We don't have a lot of problems. We have occasional, like somebody will steal a candy bar or something like that, right? But we don't have major problems. So we think we have some really safe stores.
Okay.
But yeah, you cannot say, well, we never have a problem. I mean,
Right.
we don't know.
No, we wouldn't say that.
Mhm.
Lots of hands. This is awesome. I don't know who was first.
I think he's
Okay, I'm
first.
sorry. I'll go this way.
Do you ask for your clerks
To chase people to shop there?
Absolutely not. That was the easiest question of the night. No way. No way. It's a good question though.
Yes.
Because you know, some folks, you know, anyway, some folks just they chase after people, and we don't want you to get into any trouble or hurt or anything over anything that we have. So no, we don't want you to do anything like that. Question over there.
My question is, how many people do you employ at each store?
You know, that is another great question. The summertime is the busiest time for us. Spring is next week. We've had, you talked about the Ides of March. We talk about spring. Springtime usually means the weather's changing. And for us this year, we are hoping for some major weather changes because it's been cold, windy, rainy, and snowy, which is very unusual here. So as the summertime gets closer, we hire, and we hire full-time whenever possible. And I think each store probably will take up to 12 to 14 people to run it efficiently. For us, because we have a standard that we want to be at for our customers. We don't run single coverage. We don't have people standing in line for 20 minutes to check out. We have a lot of people there to help. So hopefully that answers the question. Yes, sir.
Okay, as far as the opportunity to say is a stepping stone to try and put your life back together, trying to work and looking for a better job to go to the safety level. What type of benefits does 7-Eleven offer when they want to come and work there? They, you know, do you guys offer any kind of benefits at all?
We don't have any medical benefits, if that's the question.
Yeah, that's anything like that.
No.
It's very almost impossible.
It's really, really expensive.
To be honest.
Yeah, it's a really expensive thing. I guess that's it, kind of answer.
Yeah. Mhm. Benefits, you get raised if you do perform good, yes.
Yeah. Yes, and then I'll do. Yes.
Starting wages.
That's another great question. So we honestly kind of determine that during the interview process about, you know, how much experience do you have, what you're able to do. You want to take that question?
It really varies. Yeah, when I look at the application, you have like, I hired a guy that worked at 7-Eleven for 4 years in the past, and I don't even have to train him, and he's ready to go.
Yeah.
And when I ask him, "What's your specialty?" he says, "I love cooler." So that is most important part of it. Yeah, he might get more than, you know, somebody who never worked in the retail. So it's we don't have set, but we kind of like talk to the people, and then, you know, we can, you know, discuss it. And most of the time they're very agreeable.
Yes.
Do you plan on opening more locations?
Not at this time. Yeah. But I can tell you that I left a meeting a little bit ago. We were running late, and 7-Eleven's growth model is really, really huge right now. So there's currently 67,000 7-Elevens worldwide, and we have 3 of them, which doesn't seem like a big number.
Yes.
But those 3 to us are really, really important. There's 10,500 stores in North America. That's supposed to raise to 20,000 by 2027. So
How many here?
in Las Vegas, there's 178 currently.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just a tremendous opportunity to learn the business. And I shared with the director, my first job after I got out of the military was working the graveyard shift at 7-Eleven. That was my first job.
Whose store?
That was actually,
I know.
yeah. But,
And that was how many years ago?
oh, just a couple years ago, like 30 something.
How did you find out about this program
And how did the association begin between the 7-Eleven and Novum?
So one of our employees, Glenn Anderson, who I think that you heard about just recently, he worked for us, and we just had great conversations. Just really enjoyed going in and talking to Glenn about how things are going, and I guess we don't usually talk about this, but basically what he needed, and how we could help him with some of the stuff that he needed, and just a really, really good guy, So we learned about this through Glenn, and he seemed to think that we would be a good fit, and we just enjoy helping people. So I guess that's the answer to that question.
Excellent, thank you.
You're welcome. That's all.
I could just, maybe I do. I know that when we talked before, we talked about how you understand that everyone's got bigger dreams.
Yeah.
Or there's other avenues they want to go to. And then one thing that's really key with you is understanding that this is somewhere where we can at. They choose to keep going with it, they can, but then you guys understand that they're going to have other opportunities or other areas they want to pursue in their life later on. So you guys are open to that. You guys are very open and willing and actually looking to help people start off, right? So you understand that people.
Yeah, and I think maybe, I've got some stories, but I'll just use Chin's story again. There was a guy who gave her a chance when she could barely speak English, and she had nothing on her resume. And
But I was willing to do it, and that's kind of people we're looking for. And it's really, you don't need to have a lot of talents or education. You learn, and then just good work ethic. That's what I'm looking for.
at this point in our career, I mean, we've been doing this like 33 years in June. So June 15th will be 33 years that we've been in this business.
Wow.
I know, right? And I said that today. I said that today at a meeting, and somebody said, "What?" Yeah, I know, it's just unbelievable. But one of the goals for us right now is just to give back and do the best we can to help people, achieve the degree of success that you want, and hopefully we can help as many people as possible with that. Yes.
All right. We come in this class,
Mhm.
and this class averages four weeks.
Okay.
4 to 5 weeks we're going to be in class. Suppose someone in the class has been here a week or a few days, and they decide they don't want to wait 3 or 4 more weeks for a job. They want a job now. They don't want to wait a month to get hired. They want a job tomorrow. If they come to you, will you hire them?
I'd rather you complete your class.
Yeah.
Well, can you come to class during your working time? Like we can give you a day shift and you can come to class or something like
Yeah, it's
that?
kind of like the question.
Actually, we can.
The question this gentleman had about
Actually-
part-time, full-time.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Work and go to class
Yeah.
too.
Yes, why not?
Actually, I think what everyone should probably just keep in mind is that part of our obligation, our respect to the employers is assuring them that the people that do go to work for them are able to keep their own commitments.
Yeah.
And part of it when you come into class is making a commitment. And not only just to anyone else, but to yourself.
Right.
Mhm.
And so I think that if anything, if you're gaining skills that you can utilize to be a better employee and better for yourself in the future, for these 4 weeks, and that's something that you should actually keep in mind. But also, if you're gonna break a commitment to yourself, then what does that say how you might keep a commitment to your future employer?
So what you're saying, Todd, is if we haven't been here a month, we've only been here a couple of weeks, but we want to go to work now, you'll hire us if we continue with the class.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm saying. But we'd really like you to finish what you're doing because it's super important. I mean, it's another one of those building blocks. And you just keep putting these blocks and blocks and blocks together, and it builds a super solid foundation.
In 2 weeks, go Stats.
If anything, it's part of we would rather everyone complete their class and keep the commitment and show that they can persevere through something that you're kind of very easy for you to complete this class as long as you show up willing to work every day. It really is. So on that note, our jobs are for people that graduate. We don't give people jobs or implement our employers that are willing to give people the opportunities until they earn the opportunity.
Exactly.
Really, it truly is that way. So once you graduate, trust me, we'll be making introductions for you with every available opportunity that we think is the best fit for you. But we're not going to give the opportunity to someone that hasn't really kept a commitment or instead of other people who've already gone through their 4 weeks. It's not fair.
Thank you, Lauren.
Yes.
Well, I don't have a question, I kind of have a comment.
Okay.
And it's more so based on where the conversation is. Every day, we come in this classroom and we all have the proverbial fires under our butts to do what we're supposed to do, our motivations, family, or whatnot, just to be in a better situation.
Yep.
Or an independent situation, or whatever everybody's personal reasons are. So we all have that, and it's instilled in us every single day by the director that we need to be there, we need to be on time, we need to be, you know, just like she just hit them over the head, basically, keep your commitments.
Yes.
And all of this is instilled and drilled in us every single day. So we already know, the people who have been here at least a week already know what is expected of us when we go. Now, I don't know what the people are doing in the future, I can only speak for myself, but I've gotten the messages that have been given to us on a daily basis. So.
Good.
That's great. Yes, ma'am.
Can you please repeat where your 3 stores are located again?
Sure. We have a store at Fort Apache and Twain, which is on the west side of town. We have a store at Eastern and Serene. And then we have a store at Horizon and Pacific, which is right off the 93-95.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I thought I saw another hand. Yes, ma'am.
When it comes down to the positions that you hire for, is it mandatory that you work the cashier, or are there other positions that you can do besides that?
Are you talking about stocking, cleaning, things like that?
Yes.
I would say yes in the summer months because we're busier and we can absorb that. And that's a really valuable position, as my wife was talking about earlier. If like the person she hired recently, it's like I love to stock the cooler or stock the vault. And she's like, we're going into the time of year where that's the most valuable position that we have. So the answer is yes. Okay.
Anything else? Okay,
This
well.
was a really good class. I got a lot of questions.
Let's once again give Todd and Chin a round of applause. Appreciate it. And I think Lauren is going to make it so that you can interview some of the people at some time.
That'd be great.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
It was a pleasure.
Really,
It was wonderful.
So we didn't actually know what to expect our first time here, but you made us feel so welcome. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.